Ba-ding. Well, howdy, nearly senior citizen here. Greetings, boys, girls, and all of our non-binary friends, and welcome to this, a brand new day. It is kind of gray outside, a little bit chill, but not bad. Probably the clouds will burn off. Yay! I've been awake since before 6:30, but it's after 8:30 because I can't get a moving this morning. I'll talk about that in a bit, but at least I slept, and that's a good thing. Hopefully you slept, and front-loading of videos. Hey, if you could toss me a like, that'd be awesome. If you could subscribe to the channel, that'd be very cool. If you could leave me a comment, that'd be double plus good. And I still can't put the names of my Patreon patrons up on screen the way I would wish to. Hopefully today I'm going to try and get Filmora installed on this new Windows 10 laptop. Well, new for me, and then hopefully that'll all run and be good. So definitely thumbs up. We'll see how that works. But until then, yeah, so if you'd like to become a patron and help me survive and keep my aging pet surviving, I have links in the video description along with a PayPal for possible donations and an Amazon wishlist link that I do need to update, so sorry about that. And front-loading the videos over, yay! Without a routine that likely went on much longer than it should have, checking the time on my PlayStation thing. I record all this using my PlayStation, which means I can look over at my other monitor and see how long this has been going. Yay! At least it works. That part's a good thing. So I don't have a lot on my list to talk about because one of the things I do have on my list is why. Oh boy, my ankle. It is one spicy meatball still. Oh boy. It hurt walking around this morning on it. It was less swollen, but then I'm lying down in bed, so my body is horizontal, and my leg is of course going to have the fluid that would normally pool here because I'm upright and gravity pulling it down into my legs and feet. Well, I'm horizontal, so it all flows out this way. So yeah, my leg's probably going to swell up not so good today. My right leg is doing great. I didn't get my support stockings on until late yesterday, and my right leg had barely any swelling at all in it. Definitely a thumbs up. My left leg, of course, oh boy. I gotta say, there's less swelling, but it's still swollen. There's actually more redness. But I couldn't really feel any heat. So I've got swelling, but less. I have no heat. I have increased pain from walking, and it still hurts right now. And it's a little bit more red. But I'm only on my, third day maybe of antibiotics. But it is affecting me a lot. This past couple days, I have been really feeling it up here. I have been feeling sick, that mental feeling that you'll have when you're not thinking as clearly because your body's fighting something off. Yeah, I've been having that feeling a lot. So I can feel the difference in cognition. I mean, I never think well. I never think clearly or sharply. My ADHD and all these various things that I haven't known about until the past couple of years, I have just never been able to think clearly. I can feel it even worse right now just because it takes a lot of energy to try and fight and heal. Your brain uses, just right off the bat, a good 20% of your body's energy right off the top. And if you are thinking, you're using more energy. Well, if you're having to siphon off a bunch of that energy to go fight an infection, that's less that makes it up here. Now, our brains get 20% of our body's blood flow. Other animals get so much less. I heard on one video, like hamsters, I can't remember any other rodents, but this one stuck. Hamsters have, of their full body's blood supply, about 1% of it goes to keep their brains a-going. So there's a difference in brain as in brain power, since we have about 20% of all that going up here. So thumbs up for that. But yeah, I'm not thinking as clearly as I should, or as well, as deeply on all these things. So I'm trying, but oy vey. So, continuing to check my list here, I gotta try and erase things so that I can, as I talk about them, so I can continue to keep my brain functioning. One thing I do want to talk about, because I mentioned it yesterday, I've been listening again to the group Cyclopean. That, as mentioned, they do dark ambient and such like that, but it's not that it's just random stuff. They are concept albums, theme albums. So when I'm listening to their album, The King in Yellow, it is themed around the entire Lovecraftian King in Yellow, and that's the feeling that you get through it. It is themed. It's not just, oh, here's some random sounds and stuff just because it's dark ambient. No. These are themed and well put together. So, yeah. Hopefully I got a link to the King in Yellow album on here. I mean, they don't need me to advertise for them, but I like their stuff, and so I'd like to talk about it. Now, here's something that I forgot to write down, but I'm going to talk about it now. I watch a lot of solo RPG channels because I'm really getting into, and still into, the solo RPG stuff. One of these channels talked about a book yesterday. It is an art project that you can use for your RPG stuff, but it is a strategy guide for a non-existent horror game. The game itself looks to be like it would be a bit stronger than Nintendo era graphics, but not up to modern state graphics. But again, it doesn't exist. There is no game called VERMIS. But this is a strategy guide for the game VERMIS. And I sort of want this book. When the person was going through it, there were two things that struck me just immediately and strongly. I'm only going to be able to paraphrase the first thing, and I'm sorry because I wanted to get it, but when you open up the very book, you have a sort of, the art is half pixelated, so it's got, if you've ever seen printing stuff with like the half toning and all that, it's kind of pixelated, half toned, so it looks like pixel art from way back when. But the first plate, when you open it up, they're all part, it's not wonderful art, but it's themed, so it works. But there's a well, and sitting on their knees with hands on the edge of the well and looking in, is a corpse. And the lines up there are again paraphrased as, a corpse sits and looks into the well. In the reflections of the moon, they can see their living skin. And they think about what could have been done, what could have been. And as long as the moon shines, this feeble illusion shall remain. And I'm ready to lose it right there. It evokes in me such stuff. I will hopefully have a link to the video where they talk about it. The other one that I'm probably going to cry on this one because it evokes such emotion within me based on what it is. And it's just one picture, no words, but in the same art style of that one corpse that was leaning and looking into the well and being entranced by the illusion of them being alive. There is a corpse on its knees, leaning forward with its arms just dangling. And then in front of this corpse is a person in armor. And they too are on their knees, legs splayed, and they're one arm around the corpse's shoulders, the other around it like this, holding it by the back of the head and just holding it. And that evokes such, as you can see even now, such feeling, such emotion, because when I see that picture as, the corpse is moving, the corpse is alive, but the person that's holding the corpse is comforting the corpse because they need comforting. And that, as you can see, really hits me there. So just those 2 plates off that, and it hits me right in the feels hard. So like I say, hopefully in the video description I've got a link to the video talking about this, because oh my god, it's good. Checking what else I have on here. Oh yes, real quick, I really like the game Bloodborne a lot, as you can tell because I've been putting it up on my channel. I wish it got more views, but I mean, nothing I do ever gets a ton of views, but oh boy, I mean, it's getting even less than like my vlogging, and my vlogging gets very few views, so I want to keep playing, I want to keep getting further, I want to keep doing, so yay. I'll keep doing that, and of course I'm going to keep playing Minecraft, and of course I'm going to keep playing Minecraft Dungeons, and I'm going to keep working on the Alienware thing, because Nexor was saying in comments how there's 2 graphics cards in the machine, and I need to tell the machine to use the better one. So hey, maybe it will run Minecraft really, really well, so thumbs up. I've got Bandicam installed. I haven't tried recording anything. I don't know how well it'll record. We shall see. I mean, it's 2.2 gigahertz, which my previous machine is like 3 point something gigahertz, and the Chromebooks are like 4s or high 3s and all that, so things are past that, but hey, if they work, that's awesome right there. Okay, so let's talk about this one now. I talk about how, checking my time, I talk about how I like to show the worst side of my cryptids in my cryptid setting, as well as showing the best of them, because I have made no bones about showing how I think they are way better than us. They have a good 10% more capability just in the world than we do. They're like 10% stronger, 10% more dense, 10% smarter, 10% faster. They're just a little bit better. And if they weren't shackled to us and just their entire evolution forced upon them through our fears and hopes and dreams and nightmares and best and worst of us, well, by the time of what we call the 1950s, if we weren't here, they would have colonized this entire solar system and would be working on colonizing the galaxy. And then not long after that, they can colonize an entire 1,000 galaxies out there. So I do think they're much, much better, but shackled to us they won't be. And even when they're not shackled to us, they have completely broken moral compasses. That part is inherent to them. It's not because they are shackled to us. So they're good and they're better, but they're not better. But when they are shackled to us, trying to remember here, they kill us and eat us for a whole bunch of reasons. I mean, they kill us for a bunch of reasons and they eat us for a bunch of reasons. None of it, well, 98% of it is not in a malicious manner, in that we as human beings kill for 1.5 million horrible reasons. For every person that kills, there is usually something really, really dark and horrific. John Wayne Gacy, a serial killer who killed 33 young men around his home back in the 70s. Oh boy. And then, of course, Jeffrey Dahmer and Ted Bundy. All of these people kill for horrible reasons. And even the wars we do, we go out and fight, not good reasons that we fight and kill. Cryptids, because they are 98% of them feel towards humanity just at worst a pleasant neutral. It is only 2% of cryptids that either are of an archetype that doesn't like human beings or are mentally ill and broken up here and don't work right. they are affected by genetics as well, and sometimes their genetics mess up and they come out all wrong and broken. But they kill for 98% of the time. It would be just for, say, I'm hungry, and that's it. They're not going out to do any other dark reason that any human being would do. They don't want to take on somebody else's life, so they kill them and get rid of them, or they're not jealous, or they don't want to get money, or they're not trying to take land. No, they're just hungry, largely. But in the end, though, if someone like John Wayne Gacy kills 33 young men for his dark and twisted reasons, that's bad. But then there's Annie Dempsey, the youngest daughter of Jacob and Monica Dempsey. And she goes into Brookerton, South Carolina, and she murders 2 or 3 people every single month. Brings them home, and then everyone just eats the bodies. She's still murdering people. They're still dead. John Wayne Gacy killed at least 33 young men. But Annie does at least that in a year. And will keep doing it every year. Is that any better than the horrific reasons that we kill for? Sure, she's not killing for the reasons that we do, but you're still dead. So in the end, what's the difference? It's like when I talk about the philosophical reasons that cryptids go and eat people. The largest reasons, it's like they love you. They want to eat you, so if you decide you want to be eaten and they want to eat you, you can have 2 people becoming one in the most intimate fashion that 2 people can, and they will devour you. So they eat you out of love, or they eat you out of hate because you have pissed them off so much, or it's just out of hunger. Many, many deeply philosophical reasons that are just wildly divergent from each other, because eating someone because you want them to become part of you, 2 people into one for the rest of your life, that's not a bad reason to do that. But eating someone just because you feel contempt for them and you want them out of the world, same result. They're still churning through your digestive tract. So thumbs up on that for philosophical differences. And still, showing the best and the worst. I love my cryptids. I think they're awesome, but they can be monsters, no matter how much I like Jacob and Monica and all that. I mean, sure, they didn't eat, checking my time, many of their customers that would come up to use their RV pads on their little plot and all that, but they still did. I mean, they would kill and eat one of their customers and then dump their RV down into the sinkhole in their lake and then just devour them every time one of their daughters would pass into puberty. So that was 3 of them right there. And any big things in life, they would celebrate with eating somebody. Not for any bad and horrific reasons, but you're still dead. You're still gone. You're still leaving people behind who wonder where you went, and they'll never know. They will never have closure. This will cause generational wounds. But they do it for good reasons. And I've opened up 24 hours worth of comments on my community tab. I'm going to go through and thank however many people have left me comments in the past 24 hours. If I mispronounce the username, no disrespect is intended. I'm going to count, but I'm not really counting. It's just habit. So, thumbs up for that. Let me get to my comments. There we are. Jesse Koskinen, good to see you in the comments. Definitely. Nexor EH, thumbs up, thank you. And if you would like to send along a boot thing with that bare metal thing, that would boot it bare metal, that would be very awesome. Thank you very, very much. And it's real it, thumbs up, thank you. And then we have Beyond the Capsule, ba-ding. I just leave them in because I have a goofy sense of humor, but thumbs up and thank you. We have JAYY, greatly appreciated and thank you. I have fun with just words. I think they're good. We have Chris with a whole bunch of S's, and keep a scrolling. And there is Floramu, always good to see you in the comments. I wish I could leave you more replies. It's hard for me to fight through my executive function, or dysfunction in this case. RJ Mitchell, greatly appreciated. Good to see you in the comments, definitely. And Hokey Smokes, I hope you don't have too many chronic issues from all the turnip stuff in your calf. Yikes. Bloody Valentine, I definitely agree. R.I.P. Chester. Every time I think about Chester being gone, it does hurt. We have scroll, nobody else. So that was a few people, at least, that left me comments in the past 24 hours. Thank you. Greatly appreciated. Get me out of my head, into the world, and dealing with real people. I have to contact some places in town to find out what they would charge me to get my computer fixed up. And then I'm going to talk about it to see if we can get that done. So that would be good. I also need to call up the Veterans Administration and get my Wellbutrin renewed. I have 4 days worth of my meds left. Oh boy. Hopefully you can get done the things that you've got to get done. I got to get these phone calls done as best I can. And like I mentioned, I am not thinking well. I lost the whole day this week again, just like last week. It's Wednesday. I don't know where Tuesday went. So thumbs up. Anyway, though, you take care. Have a great day today. I will see you on the flip side. And that, my friend, is a very, very good thing. And once again, of course, I mean, I have gotten better at the Share Factory editing. If you saw my thing yesterday there, yeah, there's editing on it, so yay! But it's still, this is more amusing to do it this way. You take care.